refresh the model.
Yeah, how we doing, fellas? Happy Sunday. Smitty and I sitting over here sweating our best ball teams. Hopefully you guys are in the semis in your home leagues. Pretty fun day so far. The afternoon games just got underway, but we do have a 3-gamer for NBA today. It starts an hour earlier. It's not too much. Hopefully we'll get through it pretty quick. But Smitty, how we feeling? How we are we excited for today's slate or what?
Yeah, only a 3-game slate, which is kind of nice for a Sunday. We kind of get a little break. We're done within an hour, so that's pretty nice. We could actually have an evening to spend with our families if you choose to.
Right. And we do have a pretty good NFL game tonight. If you play NFL DFS, I write the showdown plug. That's on occupyfantasy.com. Really good slate, I think, to take some risks. So check that out if you're interested. The usuals all in the chat. We love you guys. Heath, good to see you. Unicorn Love, yeah, happy holidays. Savage Styles, like the name. Happy holidays. Kadiri, let's get it. Power Books, let's get it, man. So Smitty, what's the starting point for this slate?
We have some news for the Kings. I think is pretty important. I believe we got Keegan is available or expected to be available, but we're still waiting on Sabonis, which is a pretty big Q tag. So if we just want to hit on that first game first with the Kings Pacers, I think we could do that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What was the status on Trey Lyles? Was he confirmed in or no?
See, I see him as still questionable per the last injury report. Let me check.
It's like they gave us all these notifications for tomorrow, and
Yeah,
I don't care.
let me double check it real quick. See if I can find anything. I don't
Trey
know if
Lyles is available. Yeah,
okay.
he's in. Keegan's in. It's
So
mixed
nothing
up
on
in the.
Sabonis yet.
Yeah, and so we do have Sabonis in the model. So let's start talking about it as if he plays. This is a really great fantasy environment against Indiana. The total 236.5 sounds very low to me considering the two teams. It is in Sacramento, but I mean, I'm still pretty interested at the top end. It's only 3 games, so we have to be. I mean, these ownerships all look pretty low, assuming Sabonis plays. If he's out, they'll obviously go up. But if he's in, I mean, I might be interested in getting over the field on pretty much everyone on this team.
Yeah, same here. Their prices have started to come down with them eating into each other's usage, so I'm more okay with it now. Like Fox is 8,400 on DraftKings. I think that's more than reasonable. And then Monk at 7K with point guard, shooting guard eligibility. I think he's way too low owned on DraftKings. Pretty well overweight to him. Then Sabonis, if he plays, he's one of the more expensive pieces, but he also has one of the highest raw point ceilings on this slate, so I think he's still in play. And then DeRozan at 7,300, small forward, power forward eligibility. He definitely deserves to be in more than 14% of lineups.
Yeah, and I'm not too far over on these secondary guys. And sorry, DeMar, you're a secondary guy for what it's worth. Him and Keegan, but De'Aaron Fox, I have a lot of on both sides, and then Malik Monk, I'm going to be well over the 16 and 23% too. So those seem to be like the top 2 plays for me anyway. And it sounds like you're the same way.
Yeah, same here. I have sprinkles of Keegan, which that likely goes up. And then I guess maybe, I don't know if we get Trey Lyles or I don't know what they decide to do if Sabonis is out, but we'll know before lock.
Yeah, because there's going to be some guys that are not currently listed on the model that we're going to have to look at. And I mean, who gets the playing time? Alex Len? They have,
Yeah,
or is Orlando Robinson with the team? Do you know?
I'm not totally sure.
This happened last time where I don't know if we jammed Alex Len, but he was projected to be the starter. Orlando Robinson came in and outscored him in like 4 minutes of playing time.
I don't see where he's like out on the injury report to the G League, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anything here, but that could be a spot. It only matters if Sabonis is out, so maybe we can figure that out before the stream ends. If anyone in the chat knows, throw that in there. But Trey Lyles is going to be good either way. If Sabonis is out, whether he starts, he has power forward eligibility on both sides. His ownership should jump. I don't think we had great value today, so he's probably going to be pretty popular.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else on the Kings?
No, I think that's it.
All right, let's jump to Indiana, who, I mean, on FanDuel, these guys are all pulling more ownership, but on DraftKings, other than Nemhard, these still seem pretty low to me. This is the game I want to target that the field's not getting to. So what's your starting point with Indiana?
Yeah, I think, like we said, this game looks pretty good. I'm starting with Andrew Nemhard as a value play on DraftKings. I think he looks pretty good. Um, Let me double check his ownership. Yeah, he's chalk, but I'm getting to around the field there. And then I think Halliburton at only 8,300 looks pretty good. I know we prefer him at home, but this is also a revenge game for him. And in a good game environment, I like going there. Toppin is kind of just like a filler play for me. Same with TJ. And then McConnell and Siakam are just kind of plays you can get to in GPPs. I think they're okay.
Yep, I agree with everything that you just said. I do want to point out Miles Turner as the best value on this team. I'm also getting a ton of Nemhard on both sites. It's probably correct, at least on DraftKings, a 4,300 makes lineups work. And like I said, we don't have much value. It's probably underpriced anyway, but Miles Turner, 63 and 6,500, under 20% ownership on both sides. I think this is a spot we can take shots.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good play. It don't really matter if Sabonis is in or out. I think he's good either way. But yeah, I think he looks good at under 20%.
Nice. And then Pascal, another guy I'm pretty interested in getting over the field on. I'm surprised, like 25% on FanDuel. It's not super low, but I still kind of expected it to come in a little bit higher. I'll point out Benedict Mathurin at 6,100 projects as a good FanDuel value, so he's probably a better play there than he is on DraftKings. And then, yeah, you mentioned Obi Toppin. Honestly, at the 1%, 5,600, he's overpriced, but we've seen him smash this before. And on a 3-game slate, I think he's worth taking shots on at 1%.
Yeah, especially with the power forward eligibility, I think he looks pretty good.
Yeah, and the DraftKings at 4,600 price at 16%, that seems pretty good too.
Yep.
Let's get a couple in chat. We got the douche in here. What's up, boys? Barry Jones, good to see you. Smitty, your Raiders are losing to Mac Jones right now.
Yeah, kind of hope they keep losing.
I started Brendan Strange over Debo Samuel in my semifinal in my home league today, so go Jaguars, I guess.
Yeah, I got a lot of Strange.
Jabari Smith or Mobo, last guy in on DK. Pirtle's already ruled out, right? Is this the next game, Toronto?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump to Toronto. So Pirtle's ruled out. Yeah, what do you want to do here?
Yeah, I think Mobo looks pretty good. I'm about with the field there. We have him for 19%. I have 16%. So I think he looks okay. He has power forward eligibility, which definitely helps. I'm getting to some Chris Boucher as a pivot. He's just $1,000, well, $1,100 cheaper on DraftKings, coming in with pretty much no ownership. So I think he looks pretty solid. And then I'm getting to pieces of Agbaji. And then I'll mention Scotty Barnes, I think, is a good GPP play, as well as Barrett on DraftKings.
Yep, I like it. And I mean, do you have an answer for that question, Jabari versus Mobo? I'm also getting a pretty decent amount of Mobo.
Off the top of my head, I would just say Jabari.
I will say on FanDuel, I'm getting a little more Mobo, but given the slight price difference, it's probably just depends on who else I'm trying to fit in that lineup. They're pretty similar. Yeah. And then looking at the model, let's go DK value. Mobo's number 5 overall. Jabari Smith is number 2. So they're both very strong plays. You could probably try and get both of them in a lineup, actually.
And then, for Toronto, too, is like we've seen them throw weird lineups. So I'd monitor that. Like Mobo probably starts, but they could also start Fernando or something. Like you never know what they're going to do. That's what they've done the past couple times. So
yeah, and even if they start Fernando, I mean, Mobo's price is probably a little high coming off the bench, but we know that his minutes aren't really secure. So I think that would just turn into maybe we don't really have to look at these guys as much. Maybe get to just the like RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Olynyk is a guy that I was finally getting to. I don't know that the minutes are going to increase much, but 4,400 on FanDuel, 19% ownership, power forward eligibility. That's a spot that I'm getting to.
Yeah, he seems good on FanDuel. I like taking shots there. DraftKings, 0%. I think he's worth more than that. Right now I have 1%, but I wouldn't mind having like 2 to 3% of Olynyk.
Yeah, it's another situation where he's definitely overpriced at 5,900, but it's a 3-game slate. I think that these are okay spots to take. And he played 18 minutes last game, which is good because he hadn't been playing over 15. We have him projected for 15.4. So if you give him another 2.5, 3 minutes, I mean, 4,400, the 19% feels pretty good. And I have more than that right now.
Yep.
And I just mentioned I started some guy over Debo, and Debo catches a touchdown immediately.
Who scored for the Jags? That's what I was looking. Oh, Bigsby.
Of course. I mean, I'm looking at Grady Dick. He's 6K, 1% and 3% owned. He deserves more than 1% and 3% ownership as well.
Yeah, I agree. This team kind of seems underowned. I mean, they get Scotty back, so it definitely takes a hit. But um, even Barrett at 8,500 on FanDuel, I feel like his ownership's a little too low.
Yeah, another spot that, and we don't love targeting guys against Houston, but everyone's in single digits except for Mobo. I think we just have to get over the field on these guys.
Yep.
On the other side of this game, we already found out that Jabari Smith is one of the top values on both sides, 53, 5,700, projected for 35 and 33% ownership. That actually doesn't seem that bad to me. Where are you on Jabari Smith?
I'm getting to a ton of Houston in general, but I have a lot of Jabari, especially on DraftKings. Power forward center eligibility, $5,300, just way too cheap. Right now, I have about 60% of them, and I'd be fine going into lock with that. Wouldn't even mind a little bit more. I think with Tari Eason out, it just kind of helps his upside too. Like, he's probably going to close. So it makes me feel better about it.
Okay, nice. You're getting a little bit more than I am, but I might just bump that up to get closer to where you are. Yeah, I mean, models telling us that we should probably be playing more than 30%. 8.4 at this 5,300 and 5,700 price is very strong.
Yep.
Surprisingly, the next best value on the team is Jalen Green, projected for some pretty heavy ownership on DraftKings. Makes sense. He's 6,200. 30% on FanDuel at 6,800 seems fine too. Where are you on Jalen Green?
I have just as much Jalen Green. I haven't built on FanDuel yet, so I'm not sure there, but 6,200 on a short slate just seems kind of tough to pass. Shooting guard, so that definitely helps. It's just he's a good play today.
Yeah, it looks like I'm exactly with the field on DraftKings. Over on FanDuel, I'm only half the field. Maybe that adjusts a little bit, but I mean, Jalen Green, he's a guy who I feel like almost gets there most nights. It's just a matter of if he scores 15 points or not. Because if he scores 20 plus, like he probably smashes this price tag and 48-point ceiling, 40 points, 43, 58. I mean, this is a guy that we definitely want to play heavily. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to bump him up over on FanDuel too for that ceiling.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I have interest in pretty much everyone here. So who else are the next priorities?
I'm getting to a ton of Amen Thompson on DraftKings. 5,500 is just too cheap for him. Right now, I have about 62%. And with Eason out, like I mentioned, it just helps all these guys. I feel better about Amen. I think his minutes look good. If this game happens to blow out, it's only an 8-point spread, but if it happens to blow out, he benefits. There's just not a lot of downside to Amen. But I think he's my next play there. And then get into some Dylan Brooks. He just kind of fits lineups, 4,500. Once again, Eason out makes me feel better about Brooks as well. 4,500 on DraftKings, just a good play.
Yeah, I actually have more Almond Thompson than you do. I didn't even notice that on both sides. We haven't projected for 28 minutes, 28.4. He has the potential to play a couple more. It's hard to project him for more than that because he's going to end up in every lineup. But 5,500 on DraftKings is wrong, and 6,300 on FanDuel. I think it's still a little bit cheap considering Tari Eason's out today.
Yeah, I agree.
Alperen Sengun, only player on this team with a double-digit OF index. He's pulling heavy ownership. What were you doing with Sengun? I'm actually not getting that much. I have to see what centers I actually am getting to, though.
Right now on DraftKings, I have 28% of them, which don't surprise me just because I have so much other Houston players. But I'd be fine getting to around the field. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit over the field on him, especially against a team with no Jaka Pirtle. I feel pretty good about Sengun.
I want to look at him compared to the other centers on the slate because I'm not getting much Jokic either. So, like in my initial runs, it looks like I'm paying down at center because Missy is my highest owned, and then Sengun, and then Turner. But yeah, what other centers are you getting to? I know we're like in the middle of Houston, but I think this is
That's
a pretty interesting position
on DraftKings.
on either site. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For me, my order of exposures right now is Missy, Sengun, Jokic, and then Sabonis, and then Miles Turner. So kind of them. They're my main plays today.
Okay. Yeah, I think I need to bump up Jokic, and then maybe we need to find another piece of value because I'm just not not getting there right now.
Yeah, it's tough.
Before we move on from Houston, I do see a comment in the chat about Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Power. Don't sleep on Dylan Brooks. I hate playing him, but his salary is dumb stupid. I used to hate playing him, but I kind of like playing him now because no one else wants to play him. And it's the same problem that Houston had kind of all season. They're involved in a lot of blowouts, and so their minutes are kind of projected
Oh,
less than they should, similar to OKC. Oh, RJ Barrett's out.
yeah. Yeah, that was random. He wasn't even questionable. So,
All right, we'll go back to Toronto in a moment. So, all those ownerships we were excited to get over the field on, those are going to come up for sure. But yeah, Dylan Brooks, I mean, 33 minutes in 5 straight games, got up to 38 a couple times, and 20-point game, 15-point game. Some of these were like close to blowouts. He's basically getting there every game, and 42 points sometimes. I think Dylan Brooks is an awesome play today, even the 4,900 on FanDuel.
yeah, I think so too. He's out there for his defense, so his minutes are pretty secure. And then you get some threes to go along with that. And he does a little bit of everything. So, I like it.
Jabari has a higher ceiling than Mobo. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
You only have 7% of Jabari? He's top of the
Jabari
model.
should have an even higher ceiling. He just caps himself, I guess.
Yeah, if he was just a little bit better at basketball.
Yeah. Dude, that guy, he couldn't miss a shot in college. And then he comes to the NBA and he's just there for his defense now.
Dude, he's kind of an NBA preseason legend.
Yeah.
You think they'll increase all the Knicks minutes? I mean, especially with Barrett out now, I don't see why they wouldn't. Because to me, he's probably their third best player today, right? Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, Kelly Olynyk. Who's better
Yeah.
than Kelly Olynyk? Knicks just signed Landry Shamet.
Yes.
It's such
That
a
does
Knicks
not surprise
player.
me. He was
Trent
there last year, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure.
sounds
Oh
familiar.
no, he was
Yeah.
there at the beginning of the year and he got hurt. That's what it was.
Okay.
In the preseason.
Orlando Robinson not with the team. Thanks for letting us know that.
Thank you.
We'll go through our fave plays at the position after we get through this last game, and then what were your comments about Fred VanVleet?
I didn't mention Van Vliet, but yeah, he looks fine. He's the player I'm getting the least of, but I am getting to some of them. I'm just under the field currently on him.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the price is appealing. The price of some of these other guys is more appealing. Amon Thompson, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, Jalen Green.
Yep.
Let's jump to this last game. Denver and New Orleans. We got Nikola Jokic going up against Aves Missy, and we're playing a ton of Missy today. So let's start with New Orleans. Like I think we both mentioned, we're getting a ton of the center. Who else are you getting to here?
Yeah, I'm getting to a lot of Herb Jones over on DraftKings. I think he's a good play on both sides. He probably scores better for FanDuel, but his price is better on DraftKings, so I'm cool getting to him on both sides. Getting to a little bit of CJ. I think he looks okay here. And then Trey Murphy. I like Trey Murphy, DeJounte, and then some pieces of Jordan Hawkins as GPP plays.
Okay, nice. And guys, it looks like we're gonna have some extra time here, so throw in any questions you have in the chat, and we'll answer them the best that we can. Yeah, I'm with you there. A lot of Trey Murphy, a lot of Missy, a lot of Herb Jones, like you said, even on DraftKings. I'd like to bump up DeJounte, but I still am not really getting that much. I thought it'd be kind of easy to get over this 18% on DraftKings, but again, we don't have great value, so it's a little tough.
Yeah, I have 16% right now. I wouldn't mind getting to more, but to me, it just looks like the mid range is pretty good on this team.
Yeah, so I have exactly 18% DeJounte on DraftKings, but I currently have 80% on FanDuel. He's projected for 31% over there. I mean, FanDuel, it's definitely always easier to fit in guys when they're the same price just due to the lineup construction. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Should be a pretty good game environment, so I like it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm over the field on 4 of these guys, like 2x the field on 4 of these guys. Trey Murphy, I have 99% on FanDuel, even him. So
Yeah, I have 49% of them on DraftKings, so I like this team. And then,
I like this
like I
team.
said, Hawkins. I think Hawkins is a pretty good GPP play. We have him for 18 minutes, but if he happens to get to 20, 21 minutes, I mean, on a 3-game slate, I think he's a pretty good play.
I like that. Yeah, I don't have Hawkins projected too far off from where I would be getting some in my lineup. So he's projected for 18. I mean, this is a beyond the model play, which I think is fine, especially on a three gamer. But I mean, if I give him an extra 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some percent, and that could help out with the lack of value problem that we have. So, like if he has a good game and it gives you access to kind of a different lineup construction than most of the field, it's pretty great.
Yep.
Did you mention Brandon Boston?
I didn't, but I don't mind him at all as a GPP play.
Yeah, I tried to bump him up a little bit. I'm getting like 8% on DraftKings. I got 0 on FanDuel. I might bump him up a couple more just to get there. We only have him projected for 17 minutes. I don't know what potential he has to play more since CJ and DeJounte seem like they're fully healthy, but it's a three gamer. It's projected for low ownership, and we know that he can at least get hot from the field.
Yep.
Grady Dick is a must play now. We'll take a look and see what the model says. He's definitely going to look stronger. Remember, he was coming in for 1 and 3% ownership. He's going to be higher than that now. Let's take a look at this last team before we jump into more of these questions. Denver, Jokic, very top of the model today, 16.7 OF index. He's had a couple rough games in a row. We don't really have the value to easily fit him in. He's still projected for 17 and 12% ownership. And I say still, that's super low ownership for Jokic on a three gamer. How are we getting to Jokic, or do you want to try to force more Jokic in?
Yeah, right now I have 33% Jokic on DraftKings, and I like that. I like being around double the field on him. The more Jokic I can get, the better. I think going against this Pelicans defense, I like Jokic here. It's tough to fit, but I think now with Barrett out, it should be even easier. We probably see his ownership come up a little bit, but I think he's still a pretty good play.
Yeah, I still want to get to some Jokic. Again, probably have to find some value, but if he puts up a monster score, you're going to need him.
Yeah, let me see. See my Jokic lineups. They all have most of them have Messi, Nimhard, Dylan Brooks, Herbert Jones, Jabari. So just kind of building in the mid range. I don't have really any other pay ups with Jokic.
Okay, I just bumped him up a little bit and rebuilt, so I'll see if I get a little bit more now. But yeah, it looks like my builds are like mostly in the mid range, not even getting up to these pay ups today.
Yep.
I did see a question. Talk to me about Aaron Gordon versus Michael Porter Jr.
I prefer Aaron Gordon with price considered on DraftKings. I don't know. Let's see, yeah, FanDuel as well. I prefer going Aaron Gordon, especially when they're similar ownership. But Michael Porter Jr. is a GPP play. I don't hate getting there, but I'm underweight right now. Russ is another player I'm getting to a little bit. I think Russ looks okay on DraftKings at only 6K. Looks like a mid range play. You're just kind of hoping for a good game out of him. And then Jamal Murray on DraftKings is just underpriced. He's getting ownership on FanDuel too, but I think he's a pretty good play on both sides.
Yeah, and I'm always going to be bearish on Jamal Murray, but 7,200 on DK is appealing. The 8,100 on FanDuel, excuse me, like I don't like it looking at it, but I am getting there. I mean, he's 8,100. We don't have that many like great point guards to get to, and it's tough to just cut one out. So don't mind Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I am underweight on DraftKings, but I still have quite a bit. Like I have 27%.
Okay, nice. And then Christian Brown, 5,200. I think we just need his salary today. So he doesn't stand out as a value. He doesn't stand out for OF index, but he's pulling ownership.
Yeah, especially on FanDuel, shooting guard, small forward. I guess DraftKings too, but he looks like a better play on FanDuel where you have to play two of them.
Yep, I agree. It's probably why he's pulling that ownership over there. All right, ran through the teams. We'll wait another couple minutes for the model to update for Toronto. Smitty, what are the top DK values today? I'll sort the model. Jamal Murray, number one.
I would say Jabari, Messi. Now I feel better about Mobo too, and Dylan Brooks and Nimhard.
Yeah, I think the model pretty much nailed it today. All these guys seem like great plays. Like Mobo, I understand why he's here, but he kind of feels the worst, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone else here. And again, I said I don't like Jamal Murray, but he's like the top play in the model.
Yeah, and then Almond. I think Almond on DraftKings looks like a really good value.
And other guys to pay up for, De'Aaron and Malik Monk both show up with really strong DK values, especially De'Aaron Fox at his price. So 27% might be something that we can take advantage of.
Yep.
Jokic isn't that bad. Like, we don't have value today, but he's still, without scrolling down, he's still on the first page of value here. Same with Sengun and Halliburton, Siakam. Aaron Gordon and De'Aaron Fox, or Barnes and Mobo?
Aaron Gordon and De'Aaron Fox. I prefer the Aaron Gordon and Fox.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my lean, mostly just because De'Aaron Fox ranks out better than much better than Scotty Barnes in the model, so that's gonna be enough to sway it for me. And A Gordon over Mobo sounds better too. Is Sabonis playing? I don't think we got an update yet, but it is a first game. It's 2:30 right now. We'll be here for another like 5 or 10 minutes, so hopefully we get that update. Or did we get an update?
No, I'd like to know something. Let me double check. No.
Yeah, the game starts in 33 minutes, so we should find out soon.
Yeah, Underdog can be slow on Sundays, so I'll pull it up on my other tab real quick.
Will we finally get the Ja'Cory Walter legacy game? You think Jacoby Walter? You think he starts for Barrett?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Is this the first? We'll have this. I don't really want to speculate on it because we're going to get this news in like 2 minutes anyway. So we'll see what that starting lineup looks like. Boucher will probably have his random 40-point burger. Yeah, Smitty called it first, man. OF score, terrible. Value scores, not good. 3% though at 3,700. Power forward eligibility. Yeah, we're interested.
Yeah, especially I like it even more with Barrett out, but I think he's a pretty good GPP play.
Yeah, especially so maybe this changed like the last game or the last two, but Chris Boucher was kind of cut out of the rotation, and even when he came back, he wasn't playing center minutes, and so RJ Barrett being out should benefit him.
Yeah. Think it's still working on updating, but it at least has Barrett out now.
Okay, nice.
And Boucher is number 2 value.
All right, well, there you go. His ownership will come up, but I still don't see it getting there. We always know that people are lazier on Sundays, so even though we have this news over a half hour before lock, it's just people aren't going to get there as much.
Yeah. I know we had him at 15 minutes. Now we have him at near 20 minutes. So 20 minutes with a good fantasy producer at 3,700 seems like a really good play.
Yeah, you said he was the second DraftKings value?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a hard refresh. It's not showing up for me.
That's weird. Yeah, I have him as a 12.8.
Okay. 12.8.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, yeah, he's down here.
If you sort by Toronto, yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay. I was saying like top overall on the slate's pretty crazy, but Mobo's the top overall on the slate. I don't know. 30 minutes projected.
Gosh. To me, like you said earlier, to me, he feels the most risky because he could play 30 minutes and still not get there.
Yeah, and it's like I kind of was at first thinking he was a better play on FanDuel because of stocks, but he really doesn't get that many stocks. It's kind of the only way he gets there when he does.
Yep.
I just feel like he's over projected every game. And I mean, 25 points is not a bad thing today at 4,800. This could be enough to get in the winning lineup, but we really just, I don't know the ceiling.
Yeah. I want the Dick ownership update. Sounds weird. Yeah, I know. I want that ownership update because they're going to need him. They're going to need his scoring. So if his ownership won't come up a ton, I think he's even better today.
I like it.
Yeah, I need to go by his first name.
Grady. I usually try to. And like I see guys making jokes about it on the other streams like every day. And it's like once in a while it's funny, but every day this guy plays. No, and Sabonis is in, so luckily we don't have to look at anything there. I was trying to pull up what the Raptors look like with RJ Barrett and Pirtle off the court, and it's still loading. Refresh the model real quick. So Chris Boucher actually has the most minutes when those two are off the court with a 21% usage rate, which considering the salary, the ownership that I think he'll probably end up at after the model update. Chris Boucher sounds pretty good today, even though lately he's been out. And I know Kelly Olynyk just came back, so that's going to affect things too. But Chris Boucher might be like the occupy low owned value of the day.
Yeah, and he looks good on both sides. FanDuel is a little more far stretch, but still 4,800. He can get some stock, so I don't hate going there with power forward eligibility.
Yeah, and it's like Mobo's not pulling that much ownership at 22%, but 22 versus 0. And this, he's not going to come 0% owned, but like, let's say he comes 2% owned. Mobo doesn't outscore Boucher 11 times or 10 times out of 11, right? So it's an imperfect analogy, but.
And then the person in chat that mentioned Jacoby Walter, I do think he's pretty interesting. Like I said with Grady, is they're going to need scoring, and he's a guy that's shown he can hit some threes. So at 4,400, with him for 21 minutes, if he happens to run into any more, I think he's a pretty good play.
Nice. Just some other usage numbers. Scotty Barnes, 25% usage with Pirtle, Barrett, and Quickly off the court. Agbaji, only 17%, but this guy's getting forgotten every slate. He's 4,600 on FanDuel. He had a decent game last time out, and most of the time that's not going to happen. But I feel like this is a spot. We haven't projected for 33 minutes, so at least we know he's going to be on the court.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting to some before. Now I probably get to even more, and I'm fine with it.
And then, okay, let me just refresh again because we're showing 1 and 4% for Grady Dick. It's only an 87-minute sample, but he has a 26% usage, 26% usage rate under these conditions, which at 6K projected for 34 minutes at these ownerships, this might be one of the best high-risk shots on the day.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think he's going to come in higher than this. I don't think he comes in this low. There's no way.
Yeah, it was still under 10 to 15%. I think he's one of the better GPP plays.
Are you looking at because I'm always interested in Davion Mitchell for some reason, but I kind of like mixing him in a little bit more now at 4 and 5% projected ownership.
Yeah, I agree there.
Nice. And last guy I want to mention here, and Davion in this situation has a 19% usage rate. Kelly Olynyk has 4 games of data, 41 minutes in this situation, but he has a 24.5% usage rate, which is just below Scotty Barnes. So, yeah, if Kelly Olynyk can get those extra couple of minutes, I mean, even the 24% ownership, I think that's still pretty good at 4,400 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. All right, let's run through favorite play at each position on FanDuel. Let's do top point guards first. I mean, my highest exposed right now are DeJounte and De'Aaron.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. I haven't fully built for FanDuel. Point guard on FanDuel would be Fox and DeJounte.
Nice. So same. Shooting guard, I got Jalen Green, Amon Thompson, Dylan Brooks. I don't have anyone here more than 25%, so it looks like I'm pretty spread out at shooting guard.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at too. I'm getting to some Murphy and shooting guard too.
Yeah, I have a little bit there. I have my top small forwards though are Murphy, Herbert Jones, and it's got to be Grady Dick after I rerun. I would think right now it's Christian Brown, who I think is still fine at his price, but I'm probably going to pivot some of that over to Toronto.
Yep, a lot of Almond Brooks. Hopefully, get more Scotty now, and then maybe Mathurin.
Yeah, like Mathurin, I'm still going to be interested in. I did like Siakam as kind of a pivot at power forward. Him and Jabari are my highest exposed power forwards. And then Mobo's in there too. I don't know what to do with it. I might just try to come in with the field at this 22%.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at on him too. And then Jabari at power forward, I like.
And then I do want to give Kelly Olynyk another minute or two. Right now, I am not getting that much, but I'm pretty sure a couple minutes will put me over the field.
Yep.
What's your top centers on FanDuel?
Misi, Sengun, Turner, and Jokic. But by far, Misi and Sengun.
Yeah, those are actually the only 4 centers I'm even getting exposure to right now. So it'll be some combination of them. Misi number 1, and then like I pointed out earlier, Miles Turner looks pretty good in the model. 5th on FanDuel value, 6 on DK value. So Miles Turner is a guy that we can mix in at lower ownership for sure.
Yep.
Raptors will start Scotty Barnes, Jacoby Walter, Grady Dick, Agbaji, and Mobo.
Okay.
So I don't know the model is going to be updated for Jacoby starting just yet. It's only projected for 21 minutes. His values are poor, but I mean, what are we giving Jacoby, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, I would say 28 to 30 minutes would be pretty safe for him.
Yeah, and Jacoby Walter's usage rate in this situation, it's only a 70-minute sample. It's 20% league average. It's fine. But 4,400, yeah, starting. These minutes haven't been great, 24, 26. It's still strong, though. If he plays 26 minutes, I don't think we'll be too disappointed, regardless of what he does. And then Grady Dick and Anthony Black, yeah, they got their social media guy fired, so shout out to them, dude. I hope they helped him out. Kelly Nowinnick. I mean, I've definitely won a GPP with Kelly Olynyk before. Let's build out a dummy. So let's see who's your first player in today on DraftKings.
Let me pull it up real quick. I haven't reran with the Raptors, but for me, it's Messi.
Yep, I think that's mine too. Messi, and it's so funny in my 20 set on DraftKings right now, I have nearly 100% Jokic and 100% Messi.
Yeah, I have 90% Messi right now.
Let's hold off on Jokic until we make sure we have like comfortable value to fit in. But I think we want to throw in Andrew Nemhard and Jabari Smith next.
Yeah, I like going them two, and then if we can play Dylan Brooks, I like that too.
Occupy Fantasy, where we love Dylan Brooks.
I think it's just me and you.
Is it?
I don't know. I know I mentioned him on stream with Nick one time, and he shot it down.
Dude, last season, he was the best defensive player on stars, on like all stars or whatever the stat was. He held him to the lowest field goal percentage. Like, he's actually top.
Yep. Gets in their head.
Yeah. I mean, I would be frustrated too if this guy was locking me up.
Him and Draymond.
Who else from Houston? Do we want to try to fit in two Houston players? Because my next guys up are Herb Jones, Amon Thompson, and Jalen Green.
Yeah, I would like. I really prefer Amon.
Okay. Does he have point guard eligibility? No, he doesn't.
No. I'm fine with going. Well, Jalen Green don't either. So
does Jalen Green have small forward? All right, we'll throw Jalen Green at the guard, and we'll throw Amon Thompson at the forward.
Yeah.
Jalen Green at the guard. I mean, we have 9,400, so we can throw in Jokic, and the util leaves us 6,700 for a point guard. Is Jalen Green a point guard? Nope. Is Andrew Nemhard a point guard? He is. All right, let's throw Andrew Nemhard in the point, Jalen Green at shooting guard. Or either way, I mean, you can swap one of these Houston guys out for someone else on Toronto. I mean, we didn't even fit Grady Dick in here. Let's see. Like, we can throw Grady Dick 6,100, leaves us 6,800 for McCollum, Mather, and Trey Murphy. Seems pretty great. Jalen Green there.
You can get to Jokic a lot easier now.
Yeah. Oh, Sabonis. Yeah, we didn't really mention Sabonis when we were talking about the centers, but I'm definitely going to bump him up enough to get some.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I didn't get any on my initial run, he's probably not showing up too much in the fields lineups either. So that's probably a spot to get over the field on. I'm just going to refresh one more time. We'll look at Toronto, and then we'll pass it off to Jayhawk, who's in the Discord today. So Sacramento, Demantis projected for 16% ownership on both sites. Seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, I like going there.
And then one last look at Toronto. Scotty Barnes not having a double-digit OF index is very concerning for playing him, but 9% on DraftKings, 9,500. Seems fine to get over the field on. 29% on FanDuel is probably more appropriate at the 9,100 price.
Yep.
For value, yeah, Mobo, 28 minutes. He's looks like he's a top value. Ochai Agbaji, it's not a good value, but he's showing up as a value on both sides. And Boucher, Jacoby Walters starting. We only have him projected for 24 minutes. Maybe he gets up to like 28. It's going to look much better. But either way, like, again, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to come in higher owned than this, but they're not going to come in too much higher owned, I guess. So these are spots that we can target.
Yep.
And Kelly. So, oh, God, I didn't even notice these comments. You don't like Missy at all? Jokic will crush him? It's possible. With Missy, though, I don't think it's so much him as it is he's a player that we know is going to play 30 minutes at the center position, and his price is good. Like, we
Yeah.
don't really have another player that fits that description today.
He's just all they got.
Yeah. I mean, Tice is in, right? Tice projected
Yeah.
for 12 minutes. Are they going to throw Tice on Jokic if Missy's getting worked out? Maybe.
Yeah.
That might not be a terrible. I mean, would you play Tice in some large contests?
Probably not, but I wouldn't like tell you not to, but personally I probably am not.
I'm not on DraftKings today, but if I was, I think I would force in at least one lineup with Daniel Tice in my 20 set. Walter and Nemhard. The model's telling us Nemhard pretty harshly, but Walter's going to come in much lower owned. So Missy isn't an offensive center, though. Doesn't matter. He scores. I don't really care how they score fantasy points as long as they score them. And then if he happens to have a game where, he scores 14 real points, it's awesome.
Yep.
Spend up at center. Yeah, I think that actually is probably the way to go. If you can hit on the right value plays, that seems pretty good. So we're going to get out of here. If you guys want to hear Jayhawk in the Discord, instructions are in the description below. Good luck today. We'll be back tomorrow. And thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks.